In this installment, we're going to be going over the MLB bet slate for Wednesday, June 11th. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to bring you the winning ingredients for our Wednesday slate on June 11th. But before we do dive into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetShetsD. Don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91, and don't forget about that Patreon. Right now we're at the homepage of the YouTube channel, currently at 10.1 thousand subscribers. This is the road to 20K, and we're well on our way because you guys are showing up each and every single day. If you already subscribed, continue to like and comment. That helps the YouTube algorithm so we can grow to a much larger audience. Now, for yesterday's slate, for the previous video, we did go 3-0 to finish that out. We went 4-1 in total on the video on Monday. For Tuesday, right now, it's looking like 2-3. All right, so we got the Nationals at +1.5. Phillies did not come through. Yankees are blowing out their opponent right now, so that's the 2. And then the Rays didn't come through and Guardians didn't come through. So 2-3 on the previous video. And you'll see the record. It'll pop up right now. How we are currently, all right, but we've been trying to pull away, and we're going to continue to do so in this one. So in the Patreon from last night, this one came late. We were waiting for that Diamondbacks game, so that cashed at +146, Braves and Diamondbacks, and we also had Diamondbacks paired with the Phillies in that one, and that came through at +178. So our two main parlays cashed yesterday, yesterday. And as of today, we have went 2-3 on the plays for the Tuesday slate. We're looking to bounce back. Remember, if you want to sign up and join this community that we got right now that you see right here on Patreon, it's not just me, it's everyone else posting their picks and plays. Click on the link provided down below. You're getting full access to daily bets, future bets, and access to that group chat that goes off 24/7. In progressive fields here, we have the Cleveland Guardians 34-34 going up against the Cincinnati Reds 35-33. Pitching matchup here, Nick Lodolo 4-4 with a 3.21 ERA going up against Logan Allen here 3-4 with a 4.42 ERA. Current odds for this matchup here are slightly on the side of the Guardians, -115, with the comeback of the Reds at a -105. Total runs at 8.5. Public bet percentage here, 64% of the bets coming in on Cleveland, 70% of the money coming in on the Reds here. So sharps are on the Reds heavily. For the total run, 76% of the bets, 69% of the money towards the over 8.5 in the total. And right now in this series, the Guardians are trying to fight not to get swept in the series here. They lost the first game and the second 1-0. So this is fight or flight here going up against the Reds in the third and final matchup here. Pitching matchup, Nick Lodolo. He has been absolutely phenomenal on the road, very shockingly. 1.25 ERA on the road. Obviously, he pitches in Great American Small Park, and that's why his ERA is 5.85. If we're looking deep in his numbers here, this is a lefty versus lefty matchup. Don't forget about that. And technically, this lineup here of the Guardians has plenty of lefties. Let me double check this for you guys. Hold on. Let me double check this for you guys. All right, so if we're looking at lefty versus lefty matchups, he's giving up a 292 batting average, a 1.41 whip. So definitely worse numbers here versus lefties. If it does occur, the xFIP shows regression as well at 3.03. As I get the more information here, let's see. So if he's just facing righties, he's been pretty elite. No real causes of concern in this one. It should be some regression versus righties as well at 3.60 xFIP that one I'm looking at, but a very low home run per 9. The strikeout rate is decent as well. So no cause of concern. Logan Allen on the other end, he's been okay this year. You would hope for some better strikeout numbers for him, but at home he has a 4.50 ERA at home, a 267 batting average. If we're looking at his numbers extensively, he has struggled against lefties, giving up a 375 batting average, 1.64 WHIP, but the xFIP is showing a 2.37. Now remember, this is lefty versus lefty, and they're not going to be starting that many lefties in this one. So let's see. Let me get this up for you guys. So versus lefties here, if it was Cleveland versus a lefty, they'll still be starting 1, 2, 3, and is Jonathan a lefty? They could start 6 lefties because Angel Martinez is a switch hitter, Carlos Santana is a switch hitter, Jose Ramirez is a switch hitter. It all depends where they feel comfortable at batting against lefties, all right? But definitely 3 lefties, and it can be 6. So this could be a dose here that could definitely get Nick Lodolo in some trouble. If we look at it on the other end with the Reds versus lefties, let's see. We have 1, 2. They can start about 5. They can start about 5. So either way here, they can give the opponent a little bit of trouble in this one. But this game is in Cleveland. It's not in the Great American Small Park. Should we see a pitching duel in this one? I think that Nick Lodolo gives up some runs, despite the fact he's been superb on the road, and Logan Allen as well. He's been mediocre at home as well, giving up some numbers here to righties with a 5.13 xFIP. Not giving much in power. The walk rate is a concern at 10%. It's the batting average against lefties where I'm really questioning his real big enigma is that average and that whip. But ultimately, in this game, I would say over in the 8.5. I think runs will be scored in this game, in the third and final matchup. But I don't think the Guardians will get swept. So give me the Guardians on the money line. Secondary play will be the over in the 8.5. Remember, with both of these lineups against opposing lefties, they still can throw 3 to 6 lefties in each lineup. It all depends on the other half of their switch hitters, how they're going to decide which way they're going to bat. All right. In Fenway Park here, we have the Boston Red Sox 33-36 going against the Tampa Bay Rays 36-31. We have the AL East battle here. Pitchers, Zach Littell 6-5 with a 3.68 ERA. Going against Walker Buehler here, 4-4 with a 5.18 ERA. Looking at the current odds for this matchup here, we have the Red Sox as slight home favorites, -115, with the comeback of the Rays at a -105. So total run set at 9.5. Public bet percentage here, 60% of the bets coming in on Boston, 82% of the money coming in on the Rays here. Sharps are on the Rays in this one. Total run, 78% of the bets, 76% of the money towards the over 9.5 in the total. Right now, this series is tied 1-1. The first game went to Tampa Bay. Second game went to Boston. This is going to be the third and defining game here between these two rivals. Looking at Zach Littell, he's more of a bend, don't break. He is just good enough. All right, 3.92 ERA on the road. Nothing really too concerning. Average, if you're looking at his batting average against lefties and righties at 250. The whip is low at 1.13 against lefties, 1.03 against righties. Those aren't causes of concern. He keeps the walks very low. He is giving out power, okay? 1.78 righties and 2.81 to lefties here, home run per 9, and the strikeout rate is low. All right, so some power, low K rate. He needs ground balls to get outs as well. So he's really kind of relying on defense behind him. That's why you see left on base percentage at 100% versus lefties in 80%. Those are really heavily decided on defense behind him. And the Rays do have a very good defense. All right, so that's what's the bread and butter here for Zach Littell, because it's not strikeouts at all. Walker Buehler, he got tattooed in his previous outing, and he's been pretty bad this year. He has struggled against lefties mightily. In this game, he's going to be pitching at home in Fenway, where he has a 3.16 ERA, but maybe those games were in spots where he hasn't faced many lefties. But all in all, his lefty numbers are horrible. .298 batting average, a 1.97 whip, 1.54 home run per nine, a 15% walk rate. So it's just egregious numbers here. Too much opportunity for lefties, and the Tampa Bay Rays are going to be starting at least 4 lefties here. Brandon Lowe, Jonathan Aranda, Josh Lowe, and Jake Magnum are going to be the lefty at bats that's going to be going up against Walker Buehler. So in this game here, I think the Rays get the third matchup here. I'll take them on the money line. If I'm going with the total over under, I could see a big number here with the question mark on Littell and then the big question mark on Walker Buehler. Secondary play will be over 9.5, or just do Rays team total over. Next up in target field here, we have the Minnesota Twins 37-31 going against the Texas Rangers 32-35. Looking at the pitchers here, Jack Leiter 4-2 with a 3.48 ERA. Going against David Festa here 0-1 with a 5.40 ERA. Current odds for this matchup here, Twins are home favorites -130 with the comeback of the Rangers at a +110. Total runs at 8.5. Public bet percentage here, 61% of the bets towards the Minnesota Twins, and then we got 54% of the money towards the Rangers. Total runs, 83% of the bets, 76% of the money towards the over 8.5. In the first game here, Rangers blew out the Minnesota Twins 16-4, and they really got into that bullpen. So this game here, second one of the series, they're really relying on David Festa to go at least 5 to 6 innings, really 6 innings, because what just happened in that game one. All right, now looking at David Festa, it's not too good. All right, he got in his last previous start, gave up 8 earned runs, 3 home runs against the Athletics. Totally got tattooed in that game. That was on the road, and in this game he is at home, but he has major struggles against righties, a 2.25 home run per 9. He does have good strikeout stuff, 25% to righties, 30% to lefties, but the walk rate to lefties at 11%. The batting average to righties at 300. The whip is at 1.88. So there's a lot of cause of concern with David Festa, and they could be going into that bullpen yet again, like they did in game one, and that doesn't bode well at all. Jack Leiter on the other end, he is okay. He's okay. He's similar to Zach Littell, but you'll see something very glaring. His road ERA is a 3.42. He has a very low average. He's getting up. He gets outs. He gets outs. Doesn't give up much power, but he has one big issue. For the reason why his xFIP is at 6 is because he has a 20% walk rate against righties. 20% is like that's all-time highs. That is really, really bad. 20% walk rate to righties here, and that's why his whip is at 1.74. But if it's not giving up, if he's not striking out guys and getting outs, he's walking them, and that's the question here. So trying to trust Jack Leiter to get through the outing, we hope so. Looking at his ERA, it's solid enough, but there's that one little inkling of walks that could be a big issue. But then again, if he gets these outs, get these ground balls, he has a solid defense behind him. In this game, I think I was leaning towards the over 8.5 more. So that'll probably be the main play. But the Rangers do have a spot or a nice side here to get the win because of David Festa, because of the bullpen, and that's going to be the secondary play. So main play over 8.5, secondary play, I'll take the Rangers on the money line as a secondary play. In Busch Stadium here, we have the St. Louis Cardinals 36-31 going up against the Toronto Blue Jays 37-30. The current odds for this one here, Cardinals solidified home favorites -150 with the comeback of the Blue Jays at a +125. No run line right now because they just announced the pitcher, so that's going to take time to adjust. It's probably going to be around 7.5 to 8 with these two pitchers on the mound. Eric Lauer is going to be going for the Toronto Blue Jays, 2-1 with a 2.08 ERA, 0.88 whip. Matthew Liberatore is going to be the starter for the Cardinals, 3-5 with a 3.82 ERA and a 1.13 whip. When you see Eric Lauer starting, that means this is a bullpen game for the Blue Jays. And technically, the Blue Jays have a solid bullpen here. Right now, they are top 10 in the league. Let's see. They're ninth overall in the league with their current bullpen. All right, so that they have a good backing here. And let's see if Liberatore can match what the Blue Jays are going put up forth here in the series right now. The Blue Jays have won the first 2 games. The Cardinals are trying to not get swept. All right, so that's always a situation that you want to back a team fighting not to get swept. That really doesn't happen that much unless it's a really dominant team versus a really poor team. And then for Matthew Liberatore, he pitches are very good at home with a 3.25 ERA, a very low average at 2.28. These are all positive signs that I'm looking at. A good strikeout rate against lefties at 26%. The walk rate is low against both. The 250 average against righties, a 143 average against lefties. I'm seeing really good signs here for the Cardinals to have an opportunity to get this win. Eric Lauer, on the other hand, he's only going to be pitching like 3, or 4 innings. It really depends. If they can get to him, he's a lefty, then that's a spot that the Cardinals can definitely take advantage because Cardinals are good against lefties. So we'll see on that because we'll see if they can get to Eric Lauer early and often. They can really get into that bullpen. That's going to be a positive sign for them because Matthew Liberatore is definitely a solid pitcher at home, and he's shown definitely a good propensity at home as well. So in this game here, I'm going to go with the Cardinals to not get swept here. Give me them on the money line. For the total, I will go team total over for the Cardinals to bounce back in this game as well. Last but not least here, we are in Chase Field. Arizona Diamondbacks 32-34 going against the Seattle Mariners 33-32. Looking at the odds for this one, we have the Mariners as slight road favorites -115 with the comeback at Arizona Diamondbacks at a -105. Pitching matchup here, Brian Wu 5-3 with a 3.07 ERA going against Eduardo Rodriguez here 1-3 with a 6.70 ERA, a 1.65 WHIP. All right, Eduardo Rodriguez is a guy you want to attack. He's been absolutely horrible at home and on the road, so it doesn't matter. He has a 6 ERA either way. He's given up a 300 batting average to both lefties and righties as well, and he's a lefty, so he's going to tend to face more righties, but it still doesn't matter. All right, 2.35 home run per 9 against righties, 10% walk rate. That's horrible. A 276 batting average, a 1.5 WHIP. So this is a great spot for the Mariners bats here. And then Brian Wu has had a really breakout year this season and has really come into his own. Solid on the road at 3.45 ERA, a very low average at 234 as well. Very good strikeout numbers, 23% against lefties, 24 against righties. Low average, low WHIP. I'm really liking the Mariners in this spot. All right, so Mariners to beat the Arizona Diamondbacks. Give me them on the money line. For the total, I would take team total over for the Mariners as well to get on Eduardo and get into the bullpen. That's going to be our breakdown for the Wednesday slate. Let me know in that comment section down below if you agree or disagree. We could definitely debate about that in the comment section. Also, don't forget about that Patreon. Get locked and loaded. Get signed in so you have access to daily bets, future bets, and access to that group chat that goes off 24/7. This is your boy Chef D. I'll be back very soon, and peace out.